And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic Worldwide After Show. Man, what an episode just aired. What an episode. Again, and they even pointed it out on commentary. You can't skip it. For those of you who decided to skip tonight, I feel sorry for you. I really, really do. This was episode 133, which is the 2017 RGL tournament. You got all the matches up until the final match, which I don't know if I agree with the way they handled Mike Mars here. But I did enjoy the match that gave him the bye. I really, really did. We are live here on YouTube and Twitch. Twitch.tv/1650PWAM, YouTube.com/C/From Pillar to Post. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share alike. Man, I will tell you, I enjoyed this episode here. I enjoyed the fact that we got a bonus match, which we will cover here shortly. I enjoyed the fact that we got just a good tournament this year for the RGL. And I enjoyed the fact that we are, the road to Battlecade is continuing. This kind of furthered the road to Battlecade. So I let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get into this here. This episode here, I'm going to go ahead and put these guys over here again another week. I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway here because they're such cool guys, and I enjoyed sitting next to them at Ultimate Survivor. At American Lucha. That's American Lucha Designs. If you are a worker or a wrestler and you need a t-shirt design, these guys could do it for you. If you're a podcaster like myself and you want a logo or graphic design, these guys could do it for you. American Lucha Graphic Designs. Follow them on Twitter at American Lucha. Episode 133 opened up this week with CWF Worldwide here. CL Party back to her hosting duties. And rule number 1 of this after show, thou must always put over CL Party. And it's not because we have to, it's because she's just so damn good at what she does. And we opened up with Jesse Adler defending his TV title this week. And, of course, TV champion defends it by way of random draw out of the CWF tumbler, as it were. And I love Stutzy sitting there with the bucket, and Eric Andrews comes up beside him this time, and he's like, I agree, children are the future. These RGL guys are the future. Children are the future. I've taken my name out of the draw. And Stutzy repeatedly tells him, you weren't even in the drawing to begin with. And he just flat out ignores it. He says, and he goes, fine, since you want to be fair, how about Andrews chooses? And Andrews picks out Ivan Ali. And gives Ivan Ali a button for his effort there and saunters off. I am loving the choose Andrews stuff. The fact that Andrews is just, I think the gimmick is he's just gone flat out freaking nuts. Flat out loco here. So the match is Ivan Ali. He shakes hands with Andrews and gets a button there. Brad and CL are on commentary. Ali, early on in the match, Ali kind of retreats, and Adler gives him a quick dive over the top rope, the classic Adler dive. I put Ali here, had a good tilt-a-whirl slam. They mentioned Andrews, and CL actually puts over Eric Andrews here, says Eric Andrews is a man of the people. They remind us here that the RGL tournament, there were 9 people scheduled for the tournament. That 9th man was the one that got his name drawn tonight, so that lowers the tournament field down to 8. Says that the tournament finals will be the opening match of Battlecade, which is tradition. The champion this year, they reminded us later on, the champion is in the tournament. It's very Japanese, very G1 style, ain't it? And that if the RGL champion, Dirty Daddy, happens to lose any of his tournament matches, the title remains vacant until Battlecade, where the finals decides the title. I love that aspect of it. I love that aspect of it because I'm sitting there going, oh, shit, are they going to book, Daddy to lose? But no, we'll get to there. We'll get there, though. CL says there's a lot of buzz for people around. He says she's seen a lot of Eric Andrews bumper stickers around town on people's cars. And Stutzy is putting over the fact that, they just went out and graffitied them. Again, CL Party here putting over Eric Andrews. Coincidence? I think not. In the match, though, Ali, the story here is that every time Jesse Adler would get going, Ali would catch him and bring him back down, bring the intensity of the match back down, the pace of the match back down. Ali had a really good spine buster in the match. Adler making Ali look good here. I want to see more of this Ivan Ali. I really do want to see more of this guy. I think he has incredible potential. We get a 540 kick, top rope 450 for the win. Jesse Adler retaining the title. And as he gets his title back, he finds a Eric Andrews for TV champ bumper sticker is on the title, and Brad Stutz is quick to say, get that off of there. This isn't the NWO, which I kind of popped for there. CL Party is then in the back with Dirty Daddy. CL Party again up to her hosting duties, and they really kind of pushed that this week, I think, that, hey, she's back as the host, and we're glad to have her back. Says that only 2 men have retained their title in the tournament. Daddy says he's... I love the Dirty Daddy here. Dirty Daddy says he's wrestled everywhere, Jack. And he's wrestled in the Crockett Cup. He wrestled Blackjack Mulligan in a Cadillac match for a Cadillac at a used car lot. It was great. CL's reactions to this are awesome. You can tell she's trying hard not to laugh, but she keeps her composure. She cracks a smile, reacts with what Daddy is saying. Daddy cutting a really good promo here. And then we have the Dirty Daddy versus the Pitbull Steven Idol. This is my first time seeing Steven Idol here. It is a lot of. They say he's making a return, but I enjoyed this here. I really did enjoy this match. Again, I don't know whether it was the purpose or not, but the common theme here was that the CWF regulars were making these newer guys look really good, and the Pitbull was looking really good here. Grant Mysterio, I view everything in this. I watch this show with a headset on, so I hear everything, and I pay close attention to the production aspect of it. Grant mysteriously leaves. And I don't know whether it was to capture the Idol promo before the match. I'm assuming it was, because Idol is standing right in the entranceway, and Idol cut a really good promo here. I enjoyed this promo. It was short, sweet, to the point. Hey, I'm going to go out there and win. I'm going to go out here and crush your champion, pretty much. Idol is a good heel. He has a good elbow, and he has a great look to him. There was a good clothesline in this match by Dirty Daddy. Hell of a clothesline by Dirty Daddy here. Idol is really good at selling, and he's really good at getting heat. Good T-bone suplex by the Pitbull here in the match. I put over here that they mentioned that if Dirty Daddy is defeated, the championship is vacated. Good sling blade by Dirty Daddy, or as he calls it, a Kaiser blade. And then they get the airplane spin to end the match with a hell of a brain buster. It's probably the best looking brain buster that he's ever done. Seriously. And I got to tell you, I'm looking at the YouTube timeline here, and I'm sitting here wondering, golly, this is going an hour and a half tonight. Man, they're going to be cutting it close to get on the air by 10:30. So I'm sitting here scrambling to get everything ready while this match is going on, because usually I allow myself that extra half hour, and I didn't have it tonight, folks. But I will tell you that this match was really good. I want to see more of Steven Idol in CWF. I think he has a great potential. I like his ring gear. I like his look. He had merchandise when he came out. Clearly, I think he really has potential. He was really good at getting heat from the crowd, and he's a hell of an athlete. I like him. I like me some Steven Idol here. I really did. Jerry Carey's in the back putting over Mace Lee and talking about how they're going to carry on the legacy of Mace Maeda. And then we have Mace Lee versus Metallico. It was him versus Metallico, guys. We knew who was winning this one. Good submissions by Lee. Commentary explaining Lee versus Mace Lee versus Mace Maeda, and talking about how Maeda got deported. And Sophia Moon was quick to point out on Twitter that this is the most polished that Mace Lee has looked in a long time. It's as most polished as Mace Lee has ever looked here. I did like it. The finish comes. Jerry Carey gets up on the ring, just distracting Pierce. Lee hits a crane kick into the double armbar for the win. I like that double armbar submission move. I really did pop for that one. So Mace Lee moves on into the tournament, and Mace Lee is going to face Dirty Daddy in the next round. CL Party's in the back with Cool J. Poor Cool J. Cool J says, you guys love it when I get my ass beat on the internet, don't you? And one thing I like, no disrespect to Cool J here, okay? Because the kid does his job very fucking well, okay? But I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if it was just the way they shot it. But the first thing I'm noticing is even CL Party looks taller than Cool J. I mean, she is taller, but it's like the way they shot this, I'm sitting there going, CL Party looks like she could take you right now, dude. And you're cutting a promo talking about how, everybody likes it when I get thrown around, but tonight I'm going to kick somebody's ass. It was so good. And you know what, though? Props to Cool J, because you know what? He's over, man. Whether you like it or not, the kid's over at what given what he does. When he comes out, it's going to be, as Cecil Scott would say, it's a murder. So, and you know what? You need that guy. I think that, CWF every once in a while needs that. He does his job very well. I can't believe I'm putting over Cool J here, but I am. I'm going to put the kid over. Cool J, and then Mike Mars comes out. Oh, man. And as soon as Mike Mars comes out, you're like, oh, my God, again? So Cool J comes out, and Grant Stutz is quick to mention all the giffers on Twitter. Cool J is trying to hit him. And freaking Grant Sawyer laughing like Muttley. As Ethan Alexander Sharp pointed out on Twitter tonight, he's laughing like Muttley. If nobody knows who Muttley is, go just type in Wacky Races on I believe that was the name of the cartoon, Wacky Races, and it was the craziest cartoon ever. But it was so funny, and they had this dude with this dog. I forget the guy's name, but the dog name was Muttley. And every time the guy would get in a crash with the races, every time the car would blow up or the guy would crash or whatever, the damn dog would laugh like the dog on Duck Hunt. There's a reference for you. If you ever played Duck Hunt for the original Nintendo, that's Grant Sawyer right there. Every spot in this match, Grant's laughs would get more and more intense and more audible and more high-pitched even during this. I mean, he's laughing like a freaking schoolgirl. Dastardly, there you go. That was the name of the guy with the dog. But you get the Wolfman Slam after Cool J tries to schoolboy Mike. It was funny, but it was so good. It got Cool J over, trying to be the little engine that could, or the little engine that can't, and it got Mike Mars being over as the beast who just goes in and squashes people. Props to both these guys. Finally get the Wolfman Slam. I miss Cecil Scott and his "it's a murder" because that's what this was. Get a pop-up headbutt, And then he ain't done with him after the pop-up headbutt. I thought he was going to go for the cover. No, he does a pop-up Ron Simmons-style spine buster for the win. And Grant is laughing all the way to the bank because he knows he just got a hell of a footage that he can use on Worldwide. So Mike Mars is going to continue on to the second part of the tournament, and he's going to be facing the winner of the next match, which is Movie Mike versus Big Time Ya. And we get a Movie Mike promo, mirror, mirror on the wall. I got to say, it's been a while since we saw Movie Mike, and I wasn't too impressed with him here at all, especially his little entourage, Zoe and the concierge. Felt like they could have done more. Big Time doing good cradles to start the match. Good step-up Rana, as somebody pointed out on Twitter there. And then Stutzy makes a Kevin Spacey joke. I don't know if it's too soon for that, but okay. It made me laugh. Movie Mike has got... Movie Mike has got Big Time Ya in the corner at one point in the match and busts out a Mongolian chop in the corner. Haven't seen a Mongolian chop in a long time. CL asks, does he really think he's making movies? And immediately I went, goddamn, pal. So, something about the middle part of this match just did not click for me. It really didn't. And I don't know if it was the work between the two guys. I don't know if it was the managers on the entourage on the outside, but halfway, the midpoint of this match just did not click for me. And but near the end, it was really, you got a tope by Big Time Ya with the, he's a really big guy to be ... diving. And I did not, I don't know. It's just something about when a big guy dives like this. I cringe every time Big E does it in WWE. So I kind of cringed when this big dude is sitting here doing something like that there, especially when there's no mats on the floor. Mike, at one point, is in the corner, and Big Time catches him with, goes for the powerbomb spot, and he's calling for Stutzy, Stutzy, help me. And Stutzy goes, you know what? I can't. Crying for me ain't gonna do you no good. And gets the power bomb. The match is getting down to the 10-minute time limit, and you get a double tackle and then a spine buster by Ya. But there's no way he can get a count in as they end up going Broadway. And here's what here's what kills me about this CWF Mid-Atlantic crowd, which I am happily a part of. I mean, I'm there. I don't get a chance to go to the RGL shows. But every time somebody goes Broadway, which has happened a couple times this year, this crowd immediately starts chanting for 5 more minutes. And I'm sitting here going, the front row is chanting for 5 more minutes. I'm sitting here going, guys, you go to enough shows to know that they're not going to give them 5 more minutes. You've been to enough shows to know that when it's a tournament, no less, you're not getting 5 more minutes. It means both guys are eliminated, and Mike Mars gets a bye. I had no idea why they were chanting for 5 more minutes here. They did it at the Rumble, in one of the matches at the Rumble, too, I believe. The tag match with the Dawsons and the Sandwich Squad, they were chanting for 5 more minutes there. Anyway, so Mike Mars ends up getting the bye here, and I get it. You give the heel a bye. You give the monster a bye even. He doesn't. It's one less guy he has to plow over. I wouldn't mind seeing Movie Mike versus Big Time Ya again down the line. But part of me is sitting here going, it would have been also pretty cool to see Mike Mars just plow his way through the tournament. We do sometimes get to 5 more minutes, yeah, but not in a tournament aspect. Not in this case. You knew you weren't going to get that in this case. But I look at it this way. It would have been nice to see Mike Mars just plow his way the whole way through the tournament and not get a bye. So I don't know if, and I wouldn't have, Sophia, I wouldn't have chanted for him 5 more minutes there either. It just made no sense to do it. They did get additional time. Yeah, when Trevor and Rob went to a time limit draw in the Weaver Cup, they did get 5 more minutes, but they were both eliminated. both were eliminated, but Trevor continued the match with the title on the line. So it turns it into a title match at that point. It's different circumstances. But I look at it this way. You know, when they did get to 5 more minutes, it turned it into a title match. The tournament was just gone at that point. The aspect of the tournament was thrown out the window at that point. That's different. You couldn't do that here in this situation. There's no title to be put on the line. The only reason why you would give them 5 more minutes is because if you wanted to see somebody advance in the tournament, if it was a situation where there must be a winner. And if that was the case, they would have established that. I know CWF would well enough to know they would have established that ahead of time, but they didn't in this case. So that ended up being Mace Lee versus Dirty Daddy. Very good match here. They called a Pearl Harbor spot on Mace Lee, and Stutzy's like, is it fair to say that he Pearl Harbored him? No. Oh, okay. So, but Lee Pearl Harbors Dirty Daddy, in the match. Jerry Carey gets his licks in on the outside, and then later on in the match, Jerry gets ejected for his efforts. Really good match here between these two. I enjoyed it. Obviously, it wasn't the best thing on the show, but it was a really good match between these two. And the All-Stars getting thwarted yet again as Mace Lee's not advancing. Dirty Daddy ends up rolling him up for the win. We get an "Oh God" by CL Party in this match on commentary, which I popped for. Anytime we get an "Oh God" by somebody other than Brad Stutz, it's pretty cool. Dirty Daddy wins, and then it's established that Dirty Daddy versus Mike Mars. Dirty Daddy once again opening up Battlecade for the 2nd year in a row. I don't know. A lot of people on Twitter are going, what does this say for the Dirty Daddy? Why did they switch the title? Why did they put it back on him? Hey, I like it. Who else are you going to really put it on right now? Kane had to elevate beyond it. Who else are you going to put it on? And if they're going to book it here, as you know, we're going to get Mike Mars versus Dirty Daddy at Battlecade. Mars comes out for the stare down. Dirty Daddy cutting a hell of a promo. I got more fire in me and my pinky than you've had in your whole life, Jack. I love this little stare down here. Mike Mars then shoves the Dirty Daddy, and we get a pull apart, and that ends the RGL part of the episode, or so we really thought. We thought that was the end of the episode altogether. But let me before we get into what followed, let me just state this about Mike Mars. Ever since I first saw the guy, I've been championing for him. You guys know this. Go back and listen to other episodes of the archives here on the YouTube channel and on Twitch even. And I said it ever since the Rumble. I was like, he's winning the RGL tournament. Now, if they go that route, and if they put the title on Mars, which Mars definitely deserves it. Mars has just been... I hate to use WWE cliches and comparisons, but I think about Braun Strowman and the way Braun Strowman quickly has risen to the top. Mike Mars has done the same in that RGL division. He's ran over just about everybody you could possibly think of. You know, they did that handicap match at Ultimate Survivor just to, get him over even more, and it worked. So I have no problem if this is clearly what they were going to do all along. They've known the tournament's coming. I want to say that they've known, Stutzy and Grant, the brain trust there at CWF, have known full well, probably since the Rumble, since before the Rumble, that he was winning it. So we can't have him beat Kane, but we can have him beat Dirty Daddy, and Dirty Daddy's over enough as a babyface to where a loss for the title really won't hurt him. So let's put him on there. I hate the term transitional champion, but there's no shame here in being a transitional champion when it comes to putting the next guy over. Now, where they're going to have a problem with this is what to do with the Dirty Daddy after Battlecade if they put the title on Mars. That's my main fear. I'm sure that they already have that figured out, but you can't shortchange the Dirty Daddy here. Nobody's ever stuck in limbo in CWF, as Grant Sawyer has pointed out on Twitter, but I am curious to see if they elevate Dirty Daddy. Do they have him maybe Ultra J champion or something to that effect? Can the Dirty Daddy be an Ultra J champion? That's a question. Leave that in the comments below. Do you think with this gimmick that the Dirty Daddy could make for a good, hell, I would love to see him versus LaRue. LaRue. I would love to see that. I think it would work. That's clearly probably the next step for Dirty Daddy. Unless they're going to, put him in the TV division, TV title division. But they have a good talent in Dirty Daddy. He's definitely way over with that crowd. He's way over online. People love him. So, hiding his weaknesses, yeah. You would have Sophia Moon in the chat room. CWF has done a good job showing Mars' strengths and weaknesses. I like him a lot, but I'd have Daddy retain. 2 runs in a row, aborted early, and he'd be flat as a plate of piss. Not if they book him afterwards correctly. That's the thing. I think that what you do afterwards, if they go that route, which who knows? I don't know what route they're going to take. I'm fine with either man winning. I'd like for Mike Mars to win. I'd go as far as to say again that Mike Mars deserves that win because he had a damn good showing at the Rumble. He's had damn good showing since. But he is fairly, RGL's 3 years and under. Mike Mars hasn't even had 6 months, I don't think. So it's curious to see where they're going with this. I like the idea of the match. I do like the idea of Dirty Daddy versus Mike Mars. You got the, small man, big man match. It takes a lot to pull that kind of a match off and have it be kind of believable that Daddy could win. But Daddy probably could win. He is the youngest vet in the biz, So if he does pull out a win, I think they have to go the route of he pulls out the win. So Mars could get it later. RGL title picture is the place for Daddy to be right now. Part of me wants to agree with that, and then part of me wants to sit there and go, is the online... there's a lot of talk online about how that character, and even at FanCon, I believe there was a question of how that character is built for worldwide, in that you have to listen to the commentary sometimes to get that character. For that character to be over, it's, you have to listen to that commentary sometimes. You have to watch worldwide and see these old school promos that he lays down. Sooner or later, though, he's going to have to be elevated. And the thing is, can people take this? And this is a question I've seen online, that once he graduates out of this RGL thing, can he, what happens next year when he can't go for that title no more? Do we see a possible, I know I see this a lot, oh God, here goes Joe. Here goes Joe talking out of his ass again. Do we see a Dirty Daddy heel turn maybe in 2018? I think it could work. Especially, okay, can Dirty Daddy keep the same youngest vet in the biz and be a heel? Hell yes, I think it could work, him being an old school heel. Have the Dirty Daddy, send... I'm reminded of Southpaw Regional Wrestling. It's sad, but it could work, This could just I know you guys are gonna hear, you're gonna groan, but there's a promo in Southpaw Regional Wrestling where Gallows or Tex Ferguson, he's like, You sent Greg Valentine over to my trailer to put me in a sleeper hold for 22 hours or whatever the case, 12 hours, whatever the case may be. Maybe the Dirty Daddy sends Otto Schwanz to beat the hell out of somebody for him or something like that, you know? I think there's so many places that you could go with that Dirty Daddy character. I think he's a heck of a worker. He's proven that. But it's going to be very telling. I mean, now that Sophia says that, they'll probably have him retain. Sophia Moon in the chat room, I'd love to see what he's like working heel. So would I. So I say make it happen. Hashtag book it Stutzy. I say we make that happen in 2018, guys. Anyway, we thought we were done. We thought we were done. But then we get the fade to black. And then 10 minutes later, we see Darius Lockhart coming out of a match, winning a match. We don't know who that match was against. We don't know who. Will we get to see that match? We don't know. But he comes out of here and Trevor Lee shows up. We hear Stutzy screaming at CL Party, get your headset back on. Says that he was up in Canada for Impact for his job, but then he came back to his home. I like that. Shooting a little bit on Impact there, it's just a job. Here's my passion. Here's my home. I like that. And the reason why I like that is because every time there was a damn thing today on Twitter where somebody asked Dave Meltzer about Trevor Lee's work, and the Young Bucks put over Trevor Lee, says, hey, he's one of our favorites. And immediately somebody brings up, and I see this all the time, his work in PWG is the best. And I am so quick, right along with the rest of the CWF family. So thank you guys for backing me up on this, because I am so quick whenever I see that. I'm so damn quick to go, his CWF Mid-Atlantic work is better. Check out CWF Mid-Atlantic. His work there is better. The work there overall is better, not just Trevor Lee. The work there overall is better. Hell, I was standing in line. I went to Starrcade this past week, standing in line behind a guy who was complaining about the way the line to get in the building was weaving around the lobby there. And me and him were talking about how many Bullet Club shirts and how WrestleCade was in town, and a lot of talk online that WWE did this to pull away from WrestleCade. And I'm sitting here, me and the guy that I'm standing in line with agreed when I told him, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people making that, you know, that comparison of how they're stealing people away from WrestleCade. I guarantee you half the people, about 3/4 of the people that were there at Starrcade probably doesn't even know what a WrestleCade is, let alone that it was in town 30 minutes from them. But I was, you know, getting to my point here. We start talking about wrestling and everything, and I'm sitting there going, I was like, do you live around here? He says, yeah. I was, have you been to CWF Mid-Atlantic yet? I was shilling like crazy, man, this past weekend. It was awesome. And I was like, dude, he goes, nah, I haven't really been down there. I was like, dude, you need to get your ass down there. Some of the best work you'll ever see in your life. And I brought up, he asks me, he goes, that's Trevor Lee's home promotion. I says, yeah. He goes, oh, I love him. I was like, dude, I was like, have you only watched him on Impact? He goes, no, I caught him a bit in PWG. I says, head to Gibsonville. It's 10 times better. His jaw dropped. He goes, really? I says, yes, sir. Get your butt to Gibsonville. You'll be thoroughly impressed. Anyway, Trevor Lee talking about Impact as his job, and he came back home and he went and had beers with Jimmy Harris. Jimmy Harris talks about how he had 10 coming to RGL to fill up the front row. Says he was watching 30 for 30, the Ric Flair documentary, and he puts over Darius and offers Darius a title shot. Part of me here, the first thing I went was, it's kind of a dick move giving a title shot to somebody who just worked, who just wrestled a match. The worldwide audience has no idea how long the match was. We don't know who he faced. But now he's got to wrestle again for the Mid-Atlantic title. Who, like Lockhart, if this were real, fuck no, Lockhart ain't going to turn it down. But Trevor Lee was so impressed by him in that match, he's going to come out here and, he's going to come out here and challenge. I wore my CWF. Sophia Moon also went to Starcade, and she goes, I wore my CWF shirt. There was a guy who stopped me who watches YouTube. Still hasn't made it to a live show because he's a bartender and has to work Saturdays. You know what I tell somebody whenever they say, oh, I got to work? And especially if it's a big show like Battlecade. I said, well, you better call your boss and get the one-day flu and get your butt to Gibsonville. Because you're going to be entertained. Yeah, it said 10 minutes later. But we don't know if it was, here. So he's worked for 10 minutes in a 10-minute match. We don't know who it's been against. Trevor Lee's in this match. He's got his street gear on. A lot of comments on that on Twitter of what the hell is Trevor Lee wearing? Part of me sits here and goes, does he really go out in public looking like that? But then again, who am I to judge, right? This match was freaking amazing, guys. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this after show and you've not checked it out, you need to go check it out here. Darius getting a butterfly lock early, rotating it into a pinfall. Commentaries putting over the fact that, and Trevor Lee even put Darius over before the match, talking about how the last time we faced it was really, really bloody, but you look like you've gotten 10 times better since you've gone out and learned other things. And if I want to remember correctly, the first time that these two faced was, I want to say that it was, I'm probably going to get this wrong, so I apologize, but I'll go ahead and say it because it's what popped into my mind. Was it the match where his mother was in the crowd and he got busted the hell open over his eye? Somebody in the chat room, please tell me. Because I believe I was sitting next to his mother when Lee did the PK on him. And this kid bled buckets. I mean, they were, if I'm remembering correctly, they were taking entire rolls of paper towels and pressing it up against his cut, So it was really, really crazy that their last match was really good. And I like how the commentary here, snuff film, yeah. I like how the commentary was putting over Darius's excursion. And it reminded me a lot of New Japan. The young lions taken out once they get to a certain point, the young lions go off like Jay White. Jay White took his excursion, and then returned. Darius Lockhart has done much of the same. He went to that excursion. He went over to the UK. And it was wrestling guy in the chat room, hospital visit after that match. So I am thinking about the right one. His mother, I think, was sitting next to me. Poor mom. Mama Lockhart sitting in the crowd. She was worried, man. But, and I believe we were sitting second row, and here she is sitting there watching her kid just, oh man, it was a murder. But, so Darius is back from his excursion, and I like how the commentary put that over again. Again, Stutzy and CL were really good here on this. We get a bridge in the match after we get a bridge, and they say, oh, it's all right. That was all right. And Darius is like, I need to get more up on my toes. Yeah, okay. A lot of respect being shown in this match. Again, way different than their first match. Lee later in the match then they do the exact same spot, but Lee then bridges, and Lee is showing how he could do the bridge better than Lockhart, but I'll be honest, Lockhart's bridge was better. Good wrestling, good mat work, good chain wrestling. Lee with the ankle pop. CL is dissecting this, talking about how, Darius can't go into his old ways. Darius can't go back to his old ways that were making him hated. So I really like that aspect of this, man. That's just, whenever CL Party's on commentary, it's little things like that that just make me love the hell out of her on commentary. A lot of good mat work here. We got a fist bump halfway through the match, showing a lot of respect. Trevor Lee giving a woo in the corner for the Nature Boy, referencing the 30 for 30 special again on commentary after the chops in the corner. They're exchanging mad blows, stiff blows during the match. Lee hits a good standing drop kick on Darius. Darius Lockhart going for the revolutionary kicks in the corner, revolutionary stomps in the corner. Huge chops to one another, and Lee hits another standing drop kick. Trevor Lee goes outside, goes for the PK, penalty kick. Lee catches him. Darius catches Lee. Sorry, can't read my own writing here. Darius catches Lee. So they put over the fact that when he caught him and he shoved him down, and Trevor Lee hit his hip on the canvas there. Really good spot. Lockhart seemed to be getting a second wind here. Throws down the elbow pad. Does those kicks, the Daniel Bryan kicks. Trevor Lee finally hits the knee strike. Darius is outside, finally gets the PK off after the up and over. Later on in the match, Lee got a top rope double stomp. They were quick to point out that Trevor Lee is very rarely, even though he's a guy who may look like he could fly, be a high flyer, Lee very, very rarely goes to the top rope. Darius reverses it into gets a good, hits a hell of a reverse suplex later in the match. I think he even sat out on it. It was, man, that suplex, that reverse suplex is amazing there. Lockhart then with a seated full Nelson, turns it into a cradle. A lot of great near falls in this match. Referee Pierce's hand hit 3 on the mat. And they were quick to point out that no, it was milliseconds. A sheet of paper was in between the canvas and their shoulders there, and it happened once it happened twice now in the match. Lee finally gets another double stomp after another close fall. I want to say I have here, are these the closest near falls ever? It's probably the closest near falls I've ever seen. Lockhart is down later in the match and eggs Trevor Lee on. You're the man. Come on, fucking prove it. And Lee then does what he always does whenever somebody tests him like that. Unloads. Finally, they're on their feet. They're, forehead to forehead, face to face. Lockhart's like, Trevor Lee's like, Lockhart, you want to be the man? Fucking prove it. Lots of face slaps. Another huge clothesline for a 2 count. Ending comes when they shake hands. And that one handshake again, and this goes back to, maybe it goes back to him versus Kane in the Rumble. Kane refused the handshake. Darius takes the handshake. But Trevor Lee, in maybe a little bit of a dick move, takes advantage of the handshake, turns it into the captain's hook. Darius Lockhart then taps out at 21-25. What a match between these two. It was, nobody bled and got busted open to high heaven, thank God. But golly, this was great. It's matches like this that make me want to shill for this company every chance I get. Every time somebody says, oh, Trevor Lee is so good in PWG out in Reseda, they need to watch shit like this. It'll prove me right when I say that there's 10 times what you'll get out in a building in Reseda that means nothing episodically, storyline-wise. It's 10 times better than what he's doing up in Canada. Very good match. He puts over, again, puts over Lee, or Lee puts over Darius, how much he's learned, and I didn't expect that much of an ass kicking, kid. Good job, good job. You know, pretty much the old attaboy. And that was Worldwide episode 133, folks. Next week we have episode 134. I had something I want to point out here, and I don't know if I want to go on a big Jim Cornette rant on it because I did another video about it. It's up on the channel. Somebody put out a tweet. You know what? I'll just say go watch the video. It's the video that talks a little bit about the who are the marks, I guess is what the title was. I mean, I don't want to go on here and rant because it's the CWF after show, so I'll keep it CWF related this week. But the title of the video is it was the one where I gave my Starcade thoughts, and I put, when did the workers become the marks? Because I saw a tweet from a certain young lady who I have much respect for. And the tweet bugged me. Oh, man, did it bug me all day. I'll just say this. If you're a fan, you have no business catching dives. If you do, you're an idiot. If you don't know how to get out the way when a wrestler comes up at the top rope and dives, and you think, oh, I'm going to be part of the show, I'm going to catch him. You deserve it if it goes bad because you have no business doing it. That's all I'll say. If you want to hear that rant, go check out that video on the site. I'll just say this. You can't have a crash course in wrestling. You can't sell a special splash zone ticket. You can't sit there and no, you're who are the marks? Go listen to that video if you go listen to that. Go watch that video because I went on a rant. You know, if shit like that wants to go down, like I said, next time, if shit like that wants to go down in this business, where we're going to have people, we're going to teach the fans a crash course on how to catch a dive, then next match, you pay me to wrestle. I'll sit in the crowd. I'll catch your dives. You buy the ticket and wrestle. Because you just turned into the mark. If you think that's acceptable in this business. That's another reason why CWF, I love CWF, because I don't think they would ever do anything stupid like that. They have more respect for their talent. They have more respect for their workers. Huge fact of why they don't think they would ever do that is because they run a wrestling school. If you want to sit in a CWF crowd and learn how to catch dives, they're going to make sure you go through proper training and pay money to go through that training. Danny and Jeff are going to get more money from you than a one-day ticket if you want to learn how to catch dives. Let's be real. Anyway, go check out that video. Has my Starcade thoughts. Has my thoughts on that tweet. Anyway. I'm going to get out of here. I want to say CWF Mid-Atlantic. Their Christmas show comes your way this Saturday, December the 2nd, at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium in Gibsonville, North Carolina. Get your tickets right now at CWFtickets.com. Had a couple matches for this. The Dawsons will defend their tag team title at the last stop before Battlecade. Live at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium, 1001 Springwood Avenue, Gibsonville, North Carolina. The Aftermath is seeking revenge from Ultimate Survivor as Roy Wilkins and Eric Royal, the Ace. They're taking on Chet Sterling and Rick Converse. Scenic City's finest, Joey Lynch, one half of part of the Lynch mob, is taking on Kane Justice. I saw that match and I was like, that's the one that makes me want to be there. And they're also going to have so much more here. Tickets are also on sale for the big payback event, Saturday night, January 27th, 2018, with a 7:30 bell time at the Hargraves Community Center at 216 North Robertson Street in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. For tickets for this one, you could call 919-923-5419 or visit CWFtickets.com. Battlecade tickets are also on sale. Battlecade comes your way from the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium with a special bell time of 7 p.m. on Saturday, December the 30th. Your main event for that show, Trevor Lee versus Roy Wilkins in a first blood match. You're going to get the finals of the RGL tournament. Also, I believe Chet Sterling versus Brad Attitude. You don't want to miss that one, folks. I'll be honest with you. I probably am not sitting VIP this Saturday. Probably going to be a bleacher bum this Saturday. But I will be sitting in the front row. I will have me a VIP seat for Battlecade this year. I learned my lesson last year. I'm not scrapping for a seat. I want front row for this one. Battlecade X8. Just go ahead and get your tickets now, folks. It's from what the CWF Mid-Atlantic Twitter has put out. It is they're going like hotcakes. So get your tickets now. That's going to do it for me here for today, folks. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and listening. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Pillar to Post. That's at JoePillarTopost. It's on your screen right now. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, hit the follow button. And more importantly, share. Please get this out there. I like when new people stumble upon it. Had a guy from the UK this week. Was wanting to know what promotion he should follow. I quickly said CWF Mid-Atlantic. Special shout out here to Sports Central Ian, I believe is his name. Wanted to know where to start. I quickly led him to battle. I said, start at Battlecade last year, work your way forward through 2017. You won't be disappointed. Special shout out here to Mid-Atlantic Miller there, John Miller. He's going to be making his way to Battlecade this year. Can't wait to meet him and say hello to him. I'm curious to see how many out-of-towners are coming for the Battlecade show this year, when so many of them already burned plane tickets and everything, expenses coming to the Rumble. But I'm sure it's going to be a huge card. The matches are already shaping up to be pretty darn good. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, folks. I would like to thank everybody again for watching and listening. Thank everybody in the chat room, Grant, Wrestling God, Sophia Moon, everybody in the chat room tonight. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you at the Sportatorium.